All right, let's try this. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know. Hey, Paula, everybody, let me know if we're live. I mean, I know we're live. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, so yep, everybody says they can hear me. All right, great. Welcome again. Thank you for everybody's joining. They missed the beginning of it because I had no audio. But welcome tonight to Paranormal Connections radio show. I'm your host, Christina George. And as you know, I've been off for the last few weeks. I was on a little hiatus for the holidays and try to get a break. I had a really busy year last year, and I will tell you, I needed it. I've had all kinds of crazy stuff happening ever the whole time that I've been off. So a lot of people haven't seen me online. I've just been popping in and out. I had a lot of stuff going on. So um, I'm got so many emails and private messages from listeners, checking to see if I was okay when I was coming back to the show. A lot of people said they missed the broadcast. So I truly want to say thank you to all of you out there that listen to the show, because without you, I wouldn't have a show. But I absolutely love you guys. You guys are amazing. And, as soon as I pop back online, you guys are right here to join the show. Now, tonight, we have a good show. I'm not. I think so. This is probably going to start my year off with a whole lot of shit, but it's how I ended the last year. So what's new, right? It was kind of funny because I had all this weird stuff that happened to me. A lot of people know, as you can see. No, I'm not flipping you off. Well, maybe I am. I crushed my finger the other day and fractured, well, actually fully crushed the tip bone on my finger. So I had to have surgery. And so, I was thinking of all the things that was going on, and I thought, wow, I already know I've got really bad luck. So maybe that's why everything is going on. Or maybe somebody put like some hex on me. But since I don't really believe in that, I kind of washed that away too. But then I started getting like the holiday, I guess, sappy emotions that come along, right? And so all I see towards the end of last year, or in the middle and the beginning, throughout all of the drama that's been out there, has been drama and people claiming positivity. And everybody watches my shows knows I don't fall into the trap of either one of those. Uh, this field is not full of positivities. You might find a handful of people that are great that you can hang around and work with and do things with. And even those people, if you say or do something that they do not like, they are going to go after you. And so I thought, you know, Christina, people think they get this thought of me that I am this, or maybe that's how I portray myself. I don't know. You guys let me know right in the comments, because people see me out at events or out when I'm out in there. They're like, oh, yeah, I remember you from this show or whatever, or you did this segment on this show, and oh, I love your show. And I it's interesting when you meet these people, right? But you can all be friends 1 minute, and then something can happen anywhere in the field, right? And between two people, for whatever reason it may be. And then everybody that knows all of these people together are now really put in a spot where they're torn to show their loyalty. People don't do that shit to me anymore. Because if you message me telling me to delete somebody on my page because you don't like them and you don't get along with them, first person I'm going to delete is your ass. Plain and simple. And I guess maybe just because I'm just so raw, tell it how it is, and I don't really sugarcoat a lot of what I say. People, when they meet me, they have this persona that, oh yeah, you're that uh, the bitchy woman on the radio show. You expose people and things, and I don't want to be known for that, because, to be absolutely honest, of all the shows that I've done over the years, there's a very few compared to all the other shows that I've done on exposing. I would say probably the last 3 years, 4 years maybe, I started doing it more. And again, people who's followed the show know that it's never just about the drama that's going on between people. I've got a lot of friends that don't like each other and a lot of drama between them. I'm not going to go and do a show on one or the other. I'm not going to put that out there. It's not about that. The shows that I've done, I felt like really needed to be put out there, and there have been many of them. Let's put it that way. We know. Um, and so then you turn around and you get these people and they feel like I'm such a bitch, and then they meet me in person and we hang out or we investigate, and they're just like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And I can't believe that people, say things about you that they do. And believe me, you'd be so surprised that once somebody connects with me, it's like when they're talking to me, it's like a truth serum. It blows my mind sometimes, the shit that people tell me about other people, thinking that they can send me this stuff and I'll do a show on it, right? So they're not going to go out and confront the person, or they're confronting the person and it's not doing anything. So they're not getting enough attention. So they feel like if they come to me, I put it out there, I've got a big audience, people will see it, it'll get out there. Well, I'm not stupid and I'm not going to be used. So, I kind of throw that one out real quick. So, I mean, maybe that's why people think I'm a bitch, just because, um, yeah, maybe 15 years ago you would have caught me and I would have been all about the positivity thing and we can all get along. And, after 15 years of seeing this like a revolving door of drama, no, we can't all get along. And it's not even about the paranormal field. It's in general about, people and jealousy and egos and competition. But when you put it then into a field like ours, where it is now, the focus has changed from it being about this field being about research, bringing forth evidence, helping people in need, teaching other people in the field. It's not about that anymore for a lot of people. Now it's competition, who can have the best YouTube podcast, whatever it is. If somebody doesn't like you, it's no longer just like 10, 15 years ago on social media. If you got in a fight with somebody, more than likely they were probably going to just talk shit about you on their page and block you, right? And then eventually it would go away. Not anymore. Now people are taking it to a whole another level. We're seeing, people try to go really far. They are trying to dig up dirt on people. It has nothing to do with the paranormal field. Now, I will say, I mean, if you're a pedophile or, you've been in jail for murder or, any crazy thing like that, and I find out about it and you're out helping, people, oh, I probably will expose you because I have a problem with stuff like that. But, do I care what somebody, they have parking tickets or they went to jail for some reason? I mean, shit, it happens. But people will now go to the extremes that they will create fake profiles, get on your guys' pages. So even if you got the person blocked, now you got them back on there. They will troll your account. They will do everything grab everything that you post, send it to the other people. And if they can't find any dirt on you, they just make shit up. It's plain and simple. They will just make it up. And anybody who knows better was me. I went through it, and I went through it for a very long time. And I get it. And again, maybe that's why I have like this really pain in my ass when it comes to, what do I do about people who are trolling other people? And I'm not like, again, not just trolling, like, oh, you're just going and talking shit. I have a problem with that too, but it's not really that. It's when you're going and you're taking it way, way, way too far. I mean, we're talking about you're contacting people's employment and um, you're going over and, I mean, and again, if it was for something that they hid and they it might need to be known, it's one thing, but I'm talking about these personal petty vendettas against each other, or somebody feels like they're in competition with the other person, and so we've got all this stuff going on. So they're making stuff up, they're calling people, they're sending lies to people's significant others. Just so I have just seen some of the craziest crap this last year, and I thought, okay, at the end of the year, I was just so sick of the BS, and I had done a record amount of exposing shows this last year that I decided, uh, why not? Actually, a few other people had kind of thrown around the idea, and I said, hey, I'll do it. I don't have any problem. And so I was going to do the worst of the worst paranormal award show, and we were going to basically give awards to all the douchebags that are out there, and douchebagettes, I guess, that are out there doing some really foul stuff. And we were just going to kind of make a parody of it. And then, like, the victims, we were going to, kind of make a parody of that. So, the nasty names and things they were called, we were going to embrace that and, kind of laugh about it and empower them. Um, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. And then over the holidays, I kind of sat and I thought, you know what, Christina, you're no, people think you're a bitch, you think you're petty, you think you're a bully, and maybe I need to change. Maybe maybe they're right. Maybe I need to change. Why am I exposing anybody? What does it matter? It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to just go with a whole different show. And that was my plan up until Saturday. And it came to my attention. I'll tell you, from the first of the year, I have been seeing just such bullshit going on between people. And they're publicly putting out there like that they're trying to ruin these people. I mean, it's just when you think about it, it's just like, wow. Now you got to also look at these people that if they would go to such lengths that all they can do is talk about these people and try to take these people down. If you're not successful and you don't know what you're doing, it's going to make it 100 times worse for you. And a lot of people cannot handle, as much as they think that they do not care what other people think about them. It will make you change very quickly when you are the target of lots of haters. So there was a situation where I was kind of watching it unfold, and friends of mine were going at it with people I've exposed, and I commented, and it sparked one of the people that I exposed, and he went off on this rant on me. And first of all, he had put out a bunch of crap about one of my other friends that I 100% knew was not true. And not only did he put it out, like, to the public, but he also private messaged her husband to try to get issues between them. And I will tell you, when I was seeing it all, go down, it just pissed me off. And so I ended up, and I forgot to say before the show started that this is probably going to be an R-rated show. But anyway, he ended up getting very upset and basically cussed me out and called me the nice C word and the B word, probably an A word too. I don't know. Probably after the show, I'm gonna be the whole alphabet of words. But once that happened and I started seeing things, I just decided to change again. I change, like, again, keep trying to tell people I straddle that fence of being, this very sweet, calm, nice person that will do anything for anybody if they need me, to this very, very petty bitch. I will admit that I can definitely be there. And even as busy as I am, if somebody really wants to troll and they really want to go at it with me online, I am more than able and capable and can make the time. But the thing is, I used to do that. And why? Why? For some of it, for some of us, we feel like we do not want our name disrespected. We don't want people believing rumors that are put out about us. Um, it- there's a lot of reasons. I won't even get into all of it, but there's a lot of reasons. So tonight we're going to start the show out. We're going to kind of talk about the trolls, the haters, um, the stalkers, these paranormal posers, all of these fake ass profiles that are out there in the paranormal. And we're going to kind of talk about what all this behavior is doing to the field. Now, I've talked about it a little bit, but we're going to go into a little bit more deeply. Um, then I'm going to switch over and probably in the middle of the show, and I'm going to give a few awards out. And they're going to be the Paranormal Exposed Awards. So we're going to be giving those out. And then towards the end, I'm going to give you some tips and some information of if you are having issues with a troll or a stalker or bully or anything, some of the steps that you can take uh, to kind of keep yourself from going through this and what you are actually able to do legally or not. I'll tell you, like the last at least 10 years, I've been dealing with some of the worst and biggest trolls that you will ever meet in your life. And at one point, a bunch of them decided that, and individually, they couldn't take me down. So instead, they were going to team up all together and they were just sure they were going to ruin me. You know, it didn't happen, but I will tell you, I have learned a lot about the legal system, what can be done, what cannot be done. I've had so many, you know, uh, meetings with attorneys and stuff to see what I could do during my time. So I'm going to take some of that information and give it to you guys and try to help you avoid a lot of this. If you guys, Kristen says, don't give the day award. You guys are throwing up so many comments. I am so sorry. I'm not even seeing them. They're going up so fast. I'm not even keeping track. Jack Brewer says, I hope I get my award. Jack, tonight is anybody can have an award. But I think I don't want you to be like, the worst of the worst because I didn't expose you unless you want to give me something to expose you. But don't expose yourself because I love to expose those kind of people. Anyway, if you guys would like to join the show tonight, let me get the link and I'm going to put it in the chat. And you guys can join if you would like. If you have been affected by paranormal trolling, you've got somebody out there that's just making your life hell. Call in. Call in. Let me hear about it. If you have somebody that is been just really giving you a bad time and you want to expose them, tonight is the night. Other ways, we're just going to go on and we're going to do all that we can. Christopher says, I found the anti-bullying legislation here in the States to be a bit lacking. Very true, Christopher. That is absolutely right. When you will notice that in this field, that anytime two people get into an argument and they starts getting deep, right? And they start throwing out, names at each other and they start making idle threats and blah, blah, blah. The first thing that you will hear is people say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to talk to an attorney. And then the next day I'll say, I talked to my attorney and they're going to the police and we made a police report and we are going to, they're going to jail and all this kind of stuff. Ha! Yeah, they're there. So there's been a whole lot. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go over all of this, but I will say that how the parent, how this is gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted trying to read 3 different chats and do all this all at the same time. I was going to post that link. Just so you guys know, if you're going to join the stream, hold on. Give me a different page. You guys are going to join the stream as a guest. What you'll need to do is if you're on your computer, all you will need to do is click the link. It'll prompt you to authorize them to use your webcam and your microphone, and you will go directly into the lobby. Easy, super easy peasy. If you are trying to call in via your phone, what you're going to need to do first is you can click on the link, and it's going to say, download Be Live TV app. You're going to download it. You're going to get out of the app after you do that. Don't sign up anything. Just create your account, and as soon as you get out of that, go back to the link on the page, click on that, and again, it will prompt you to use your microphone and your webcam, but it will also have you sign into your Facebook account. And so what that'll do is as soon as it does, it'll bring you into the lobby after that, and I will be able to bring you on. It'll bring up your name and all of that. So if you want to come on, feel free to. Let me throw this link up real quick. Where's Joe? Oh, and then I'll get back to you. I'm seeing like there's just so many comments flying by, so I'm going to check some of them as well. If you have questions, all you can do is just put them over in the comment section as well. Okay, there you go. There's the link. All right, let me get back to the studio. Oh, Christina has an assassin in here. You need to message me. Tell me who made it here. Dave says it seems paranormal investigator, always some big attorney at their right hand. Yeah, very true. But the thing is although they always say that they have an attorney and this person's going to get arrested and all this kind of stuff, how often do you see that it actually happens? It's all bullshit. Or they send these stupid ass, they go in onto the internet, they download the cease and desist. And for people who aren't computer savvy, what they do is they go and pay anywhere from $50 to $150 for a legal aid or an attorney to write one up for you. Basically, not even worth the money. What it's on that is even worth the ink on the paper. Somebody could go take that cease and desist order and use it for toilet paper and flush it down the toilet, and it's that useless. Basically, a cease and desist is what they will send out before they're going to do anything. It's kind of an incentive that, hey, from whatever law firm or whatever, my client, requests that you cease and desist, talking about him or her doing whatever that's bothering them, right? And if you don't, then we will be filing a suit. Well, that's basically just a ploy to see if you're dumb enough to fall for it. And a lot of people do. They're like, oh my God, an attorney sent me. They were real. I mean, they were true that, they're going to go after me. I don't want anybody to sue me and come after me for anything. And so they get all scared and go away. Then there's the other side that been around doing this for a long time, and they know that they're not going to get in any trouble. Hold on, this light is like really, really bright. Okay, that's better. That know that they're not going to get in any trouble. And the laws are different all over the place. So it really, kind of depends on where you're at. But a lot of these people know this. So basically, you send them the cease and desist and they laugh. Because all the times I went to try to talk to attorneys about this, the first thing that they would say is that for a slander or a defamation case, well, I guess I should kind of wait to the end to give all this information out. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait to the end. Well, I'll just get back to what it's doing to the paranormal field. And I will tell you, I mean, there's always been drama in this field. That it really hasn't ever changed as long as I've been around. But what's really kind of bothering me is seeing how fragmented it is getting. Again, everybody seems to be in competition with each other. It's like everybody's friends, and then one person is making, say, jewelry or metaphysical stuff, selling metaphysical stuff, and then somebody else in their circle starts doing it. Then you get all these people that get all butthurt because they're like, oh, they're taking my idea, they're trying to be me. Well, no, we're in the paranormal, and everybody's trying to make some money, and those are ways to do it. And so if you're crafty, there's all kinds of any event show that you go to, you will see there's all kinds of paranormal vendors. And what, are they all going to hate each other because they're selling similar things? I mean, no, like, who cares? Like, it is not going to hurt you if you've got a following, you've got, people. You shouldn't have to worry about somebody else taking the people who buy from you. And if they buy from somebody else, maybe they have a piece that they want. I mean, it doesn't mean that that's the only person they can only ever buy from you in your store. I mean, it's just crazy. And then we've got people fighting over locations. Yep, locations. People think they own locations. They think that if anybody does any kind of investigating, filming, anything at their location, then they should get online and throw a little bitch fit. Um, I say that's bullshit. Why? Anybody can investigate wherever they want. Unless you have a contract with a location that says you are going to be the resident investigative team, it is open to whoever wants to go. And please believe, all of these haunted businesses now, they want to make the money, and they're making good money running it out to paranormal television shows, people with YouTube channels, people are doing Facebook lives, paranormal teams, whatever. Not it's not the way it used to be, but I mean, again, everybody, now that it's everybody about money, everybody's egos are getting it, everybody's jealous of everybody else. Now you don't like them. Now everybody that everybody feels like they got to take sides, and people will say, oh, if you're friends with so and so, delete me now. Or if I find out that you're friends with them, I'll delete you myself. You know, it makes me laugh, but literally that was how my trolling um, experience began. Was somebody actually had the audacity to message me, and I'd been friends with him for a very long time, many probably about 7 8 years. And he messaged me and said, hey, I see that you have this guy so and so on your friends list, and I don't like him. I have a real problem with him. I think that he's devil worshiper and all this kind of stuff. And you need, oh, and he said, and he's a child molester, a convicted child molester. And he said, so I need you to delete him. And I saw the message, and I responded back, and I said, first of all, I've got 5,000 friends. I do not personally know all of them. Yes, you're right. This guy is on my page, but I've never spoken to him ever, ever. And I'm not going to delete him. And I say, but by the way, it's one thing to assume things, but if you are making claims and putting out on your page that somebody is a convicted child molester, you better have the facts, because you can get in a lot of trouble for things like that. And he came back and said, like I said, you have 15 minutes. And if you do not delete this person, you are now my enemy, and I will do everything in my power to destroy you in the paranormal field. Well, and for those of you who know me, already know how that went over on me. I say, okay, it's on. See ya. I'm not deleting anybody. And he came through on his threat, and he wrote about me on every website and blog site and website he could create, and anywhere where they would listen, and put out some really, really horrible, horrible stuff. Some of it, I didn't even care. Some of it that it would put out would be partly true, and then like twist all the rest of it up to make it something like really big, which it wasn't. Other things he just straight made up. I mean, there was no truth to it whatsoever. It went as far as, you know, them stating that a murdered teenager in my area that I worked on the case. I was a psychic on the case, and they went as far as to go publicly put on sites that did articles about me and comment and state that I was not a psychic. And the only reason I knew the information that I did was because I was actually the person who killed her, and that I was a suspect, and that the police were now looking for me so they could arrest me. And, as crazy as something like that sounded, I didn't believe that anybody would believe it. I mean, I had been in the field for a long time. I knew a lot of people. I mean, I didn't think people, I just felt like in a field of all these researchers, people would do research. And boy, to my surprise, well, not that way. And people were defriending me left and right because their friends were, sharing the articles and the information, and nobody gave me a chance. Nobody even wanted to listen to what was going on. There was a very, very small circle of friends that today I am still friends with. And together we kind of fought this and battled it for years. But I would tell you, I'm a strong person. And it got to a point where I had some stuff put out about me that I had actually killed my grandmother. Now, my grandmother was like the closest thing to my heart you could, other than my children or my grandchildren. My grandmother was always there for me, raised me for a while, and she was always there for me no matter what. And I took care of her, and up until the day she took her last breath, I was there holding her hand and helping her cross over. And horrible stuff was being put out about me, that I went in and basically attacked her and threw her on the ground. I broke, now mind you, that I first it was I broke into a locked dementia facility. And then when that didn't really go over really well, people believe that. Then she changed it and said that I had made friends with one of the nurses, so they let me sneak in. And I went in, and that my grandmother had her rosary, which was supposed to be given to me when she passed, and I had taken it up there so it could be with her. And she said that I went in there to go and get the um, rosary, and that she wouldn't give it to me. My grandmother wouldn't give it to me. And so I threw her on the ground and basically beat the crap out of her. And she had a brain bleed. I ran out of the facility. A bunch of people saw me, and they went to go check on her, found her unresponsive on the floor, took her to the hospital, all this stuff. They used pictures of when she had fallen long ago and broken her arm, and tried to say that that had just happened and I had done it, and that the police were looking for me. And think that's when it kind of changed for me, because it took it to a whole nother level. And so it brought the definite, bitch side of me out. And so I went full force. I went toe to toe with probably at least 6 different people at one time that were all going after me, and they'd all teamed up. Uh, and it got to a point where I literally couldn't take the judgment. And it was crazy, because as much again as I don't care what people think about me, for some reason it was really, really bothering me. And it got me to a point where, I mean, I was going through a lot, and I just felt suicidal. Like, why even go through this? And I started to see those similar types of things happening in uh, a lot of the different fights that have been going on this last year. And that really kind of has bothered me, because I've actually talked to people. Um, they've told me their stories of what they've gone through and what's happening. And when they start telling me that they, are starting to feel horrible, I have another friend from the UK, beautiful woman, absolutely gorgeous. And, she's got haters that literally troll her page, tell her she looks like a porn star, and, just some of the nastiest, filthiest things that, you could believe. And, not only men have done that to her, but strange enough, and well, doesn't surprise me, but women. And some of these women in here are just absolutely crazy. Ellen says you need to go and judge Judy. Better results. Well, no, not really, but that's another story for another time. Funny one. I'll have to put it out one day. Hey, everybody. So nice to see everybody. George says, nice to see you, Christina. Back at what you do. You're missed and welcome back. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've missed so many. I'm sorry. There's just so many people in here. Thanks a lot for everybody for joining. Um, Kristen says her son is standing right there listening. He's 15 and in high school. He said, I don't even deal with this shit at school. And he's laughing, telling us we're all crazy. It's funny. I say this all the bullying has been going on for a long time, and a lot of people experience it, but it has definitely taken on a whole nother level. And I didn't do all of I'm not a clique person. I'm really not. If anybody sees me, you don't really see me with a whole lot of the same people other than my team or people like close by me ever. Like, you just see me, I'll see them at events and take pictures with them. I have a very, very small circle for a very, very, good reason. Hey guys, hey Parrot, Tara, nice to see you. Hey Marcy, nice to see you too. Yep, and Bully Suck, you are absolutely right. Let's see. Kelly, good to see you. She says, welcome back, beautiful. Thank you so much. Hey, Lynn, nice to see you. It's been a while. Glad to see that you're back. Oh my God, guys, there's just so many. So many, so many. I don't know what to do. Let's see. Um, Cass says, nice to hear what you have to say. It's sad. Yes, it is. And I'm sorry that you or anybody has to go down this road. But, it's funny that, 15-year-olds can realize how ridiculous this is and adults can't. Right? It just can't. And the thing is everybody's, again, egos and the jealousy or just whatever it is, they just don't want to back down. And so it never stops. It just goes back and forth. And you get, for the people that are being attacked, it is, again, kind of a very fine line to walk. Because when I went through my situation, people would call me out. And I wasn't responding to any of it because I was like, you know what? If you guys are, stupid enough to just believe what anybody says without any proof of it, and at one point they said had the FBI was looking for me, and I had went underground, and I had stolen and sold haunted statues on the underground market, and I was living underground, but yet every day I was on Facebook. Every weekend I was at an event streaming live, and I kept saying, you dumbasses don't realize, like, if you guys can find me, do you really think that the police and the FBI can't find me? But it became a rhetorical question because I already knew the answer. And, people will believe anything. I also see that, hey, Cheryl, nice to see you. I also, again, started to see a lot of people becoming keyboard warriors. Boy, they will get on the internet and behind a screen, and the things that they will say, they would probably never say in front of their mother or family. But let them get in behind a screen, and the things that they will say, the threats that they will put out, all of the different things. Yep, there it is. It happens all the time. So, a lot of these people also don't have any life. And there is some jealousy in there somewhere, especially for a lot of the people I've run into. It's a big jealousy thing and ego. But look, there's millions of people on YouTube. There's plenty of avenues for people to make money, even if you're all doing the exact same damn thing. It's like, obviously we don't charge, or most of it, that's even changing. But for the most of us that have been in, the field for a long time, we don't charge to help people with investigations. So again, everything is changing. Hey, Devin, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Um, George says, Christina, can I buy a statue from you? You're a fool. No. And the funny thing is that to this day, I still have the damn statues. I, unfortunately, every month pay for they have a whole storage room to themselves. I used to have some haunted dolls in there too that somebody gave to me, and I did have two Ouija boards. Since I don't mess with any of those things, they could not stay in my house because I started having issues when I put them in the garage. So I gave them their own little coffin at the storage place. So I will actually never sell them. I will. These things are well, one of them is very dark, so it will never be sold. That I will make sure. Let's see. Yeah, because if you want to come on, feel free. I put the link. I can put it again in the chat room. I know you're already set up because you've come on the show before. So let me just put that link again real quick. All right. All right, go ahead. And when I see you in the lobby, I will bring you on. Again, anybody else wants to come on, feel free to. Oh no, don't mention haunted dolls. That's a sore subject. Well, yeah, so is another douchebag will be talking about too, and his wanting to have a haunted mansion museum. That's a pretty funny one too. All right, so let's see. We are at 7 o'clock, so we've got approximately about an hour left to go over everything. So I think that maybe it's time that we start doing the update show, and we're gonna talk about where they are now. Did they learn their lesson? Did they leave the internet, or are they still just doing the same old shit just to somebody else? You kind of have a little bit of all of that tonight on the updates. All right, so we are going to start. First of all, I think I'm going to start off with an oldie but goodie exposing show. Some of my top shows, I have to say, they were really good. That and the Ghost Sex, probably in Thai. But it was back a couple years ago. For about 3 years, I was covering the extreme haunt McCamey Manor in San Diego, California. And anybody who does know about it, you've seen the shows, you know all about it. For those who don't, it was a claim to be an extreme haunt, but it is where they actually kidnap you and basically legally torture you. You assign a huge contract which lists everything that they may or may not do to you, and you have to sign that that's okay with you. The big thing is it's become a very big craze, these extreme haunts, but this was claimed to be the most extreme haunt because of the fact it was an 8-hour tour where you were basically tortured for 8 hours or as long as they wanted, because unlike every other extreme haunt, there is absolutely no safe word. So they only stop when they feel like it. And again, everybody knows I'm not into these haunted houses, and I'm definitely not into extreme haunts. And it took me into a whole new world of BDSM, fetish people that like to go on it. I mean, it was mind blowing, to be honest. Not my thing, but it was, a lot of people had interest in it. So I was doing shows for a while, and everybody realized that right after that, I decided to flip the script. And I came to find out that Russ was actually purposely having his actors um, physically harm the guest going through. And so I had told him that if I ever found out he's lying to me or that he was really, hurting people, that I was going to do my best to shut him down. Um, Myself and a group of others. There have been, I will tell you, there have been probably thousands at this point that have gone in and out of all the different groups to try to shut him down. I will say that our group of people probably did a huge boost. Finally, forced him out of San Diego, and he decided to go to the backwoods of, what the hell? I forgot where I think it was. Is it Tennessee that they moved to? Angel, I can't remember. You're gonna have to let me know. Um, but I think he's in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But he has a new haunt there. There was so much attention that was brought to him, not only from the town people, but we posted in the groups. We talked to the city council. We talked to the sheriff's department, the DA. Nobody wanted him there. So the eyes of the law were just waiting. Yeah, Tennessee. They were just waiting for him to screw up so that they could take him. And so because of that, he toned down the extreme haunt. So now it's like an extreme workout. Like you got to go through mud. You've got to like do a bunch of like flipping tires, and I don't know. But I figured as long as he's not torturing people, I'm okay with that. I will, walk back. But oh, hold on, Ashley Wooten. Does anybody have false allegations about Toledo's spirit hunters? I can clear it up right now. Well, Ashley, um, I am sure that there probably is somebody, but I would love to have you come on, jump on onto the stream, and we will go ahead and I'd be happy to let you say what you need to say. Uh, this is going to be an interesting show tonight. If you guys are, to be absolutely honest, I told people that today, I'm like, none of these people will actually come on. Like, none of these bullies are there. What are they? We going to say, like, not only they're, I guess they're little groupies or whatever. Hold on, Kaz is here. I said none of them are going to call in. They're not brave enough, but we're gonna see. Hold on. Devin said spooky boot camp. Yeah, that's exactly. It was pretty much the way it is. Let me check these comments real quick. If you buy haunted dolls off eBay, they come with a guaranteed attachment. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna talk about that. So no worries. Um, all right, there's just too many comments going through, so I'm just going to try to get them as I can. Let's see. Sarah says Toledo Spirit Hunters is Dennis Hagen and his Haunted Museum of Dolls. Yep, that's right. That is absolutely right, Sarah. Thank you for pointing that out. But as I said, if Ashley wants to come on and voice her opinion, hey, come on. I'll put the link out there for you one more time. Hey, David, good to see you, my friend. See if some of these people will have the balls to actually come on the show. And so as I start calling people out, look, you guys, they don't have me blocked or whatever, but this is a public stream, so feel free. If once we call them out, if you wanna, they're your friend, and you wanna call and say, "Hey, Christina's talking shit about you," you wanna go on her stream and say your piece, come join me. Come join me. All right, let me see where I'm at real quick. Let me bring Kat on. All right, let me get back in the studio. Okay, hold on. Okay, there she is. All right. So before I bring her on, so let me just finish with Russ. So, the thing is, it's so lovely about when you have people like this that are trolls, or they use other people to, troll and all these kinds of things. Because as we know, there are so many fake profiles out there. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Um, but anyway, the funny thing was, is so now he's got there, he's not making any money off of his tour. He's had to tone it down completely, so it's not what everybody was wanting anymore. Like his girlfriend left him, and I guess then she came back. There's been so much drama, behind him. But I guess now, like, he's got drama. He's moved on. He's got drama with everybody. But somehow, he'll probably say he was hacked, but somehow somebody that he knew got a porn, well, let's say a homemade porn, let's put it, of him and his girlfriend. And I guess they leaked it all over the internet. So, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, because you never know when you start going after people where that might lead, and if it might end up backfiring on your ass. So, Russ, shout out, my friend. I know that you were given the opportunity to come on and give your side, but I knew you wouldn't get here. But I hope you watch the show, and hope you're having a great time out there. All right. Let's bring on my girl, Kaz. Oh, why is it not coming on? Oh, here she comes. Hey, Kaz, how you doing?
Hi. Hiya. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very good. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good.
I can remember back in the when a lot of the bullying started for you,
Yeah.
you were so afraid to come online, and you were so affected by so many things that were being said. And,
Yeah.
I just felt so bad. And I said, no, Kaz, like, you got to stand up for yourself, find that voice. Like, I'm going to put it out there for you. I'm going to expose, and I'm going to help you. But I
Yeah.
hope that this empowers you. And now to see you, you're beautiful. You're out there investigating. You're putting stuff out there. You're doing live streams. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I do. I mean, yes. I wouldn't say boo to a goose before. I do now, and yeah, I put myself out there a lot more just to really piss people off, to tell you the truth. But at the end of the day, I want to mention some names.
Good.
Yeah, I I
Well,
think the
hold on.
biggest.
Let's first start
Yeah.
with the
Okay.
case that we exposed and that you were part of, that I helped you
Yeah.
with. And it was back in a case last year. The topic was, we were doing the show on unsolicited dick pics
Oh yeah.
being sent out to women in the paranormal.
Mm.
And it started out with that. And I actually ended up having a couple of people I ended up talking about on that show. But one in particular was a paranormal investigator from the UK. And crazy enough, I was friends with him on Facebook, never spoke to him, but had been friends with him online. And when I originally added him, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, he all that was on his page was paranormal stuff. Now, when I went and looked on, this page, everything had changed. And this guy I found was, sending out these pics. And when we were talking on the show, we were saying, the problem I had, and George as well. George was doing the show with me. We were talking about, it's one thing, if you send these. Oh, yeah, okay. It's one thing if you send these to somebody. Well, I think it's stupid if you send out naked pictures of yourself to anybody on the internet. Just bottom line, it will come back to bite you in your ass probably. But even with that, these were not solicited. They didn't say, hey, why don't you send me a pic? It would be like, hey, so, you like the paranormal? Oh, yeah, I like the paranormal. Oh, you sure are pretty. Oh, thank you. Oh, do you get how much? And then, how do you like this? And like, bang, there's like a full frontal of the guy.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away. And Kaz, as well as other people, had actually sent me, the full conversations from start to finish, so that there was no doubt that in these private messages, that in any way these women had given them any inkling that they wanted to get a pic like that. And I had a problem because, again, most of the women who were receiving these things, these pictures, were married women. which was really kind of strange, that again you're doing that. But we had said on the show, if they'll do it to a woman in the field and not care, where does it stop? Would they, how do we know if they won't start sending them to kids? And I mean, literally, we said that, and it was like it made it into a reality, because the very next day, we get a message and asking about this same guy from a dad of a 13-year-old girl. And he was stating that, he basically found out, that his teenage daughter was texting back with this adult, and he was sending these pictures. And at that point, I went back on and we did another show. And that time, Kaz decided to come on, and we talked about it, and she had actually got the strength to go and report all this and actually work with the police out there. And the great update to that story was that he actually, the police, well, I'll actually let you give the update, since you were right there and following up on it.
Yeah. Well, what happened? I mean, the thing is, it takes a hell of a long time for Facebook to, excuse me, to get their information to the police. Facebook hold up a hell of a lot of information for some reason. Anyway, once the police got the information from released from Facebook, I think it's the PI address or something like that. They went round his house, and my God, I mean, they got him. They really did. It was like he'd gone to court. I could have gone to court. I must admit, I could have gone to court. I didn't. I had the police come round to me and they said, look, we can do him like he is gone to court, if that makes sense. I'm not that great with words, but if that makes sense, they threw everything at him. And I think he's still on here, but I don't think he is as popular as he used to be. But he can no way do what he did before. If he does anything like he done before, then he'll be thrown into prison. So yeah, it was a really good result. And the police, I got a lot of hate mail for that as well. The police, from a lot of women and men, turning around saying the police have better things to do. Well, actually, the police want to hear from people who get the disgusting pictures and disgusting sick messages out there. Because you're right, with me, I know I've learned a lot, and we've talked, Christine, and yes, I do take friends on, but I still don't. It's hard because they say they're in the paranormal business. They have all the same friends. They do the same thing as you. Month later, bang, they show you the pictures. They come in with the most disgusting comments, like I think you saw I sent to you.
Yes.
But anyway, going back to this particular guy, yeah, he got well and truly done. And I'm not frightened to do that at all. And I would always do that on anything like that. It's disgusting. I wouldn't let it happen to me in the street. I wouldn't let it happen to that young girl. I wouldn't let it happen to anyone. And I think we should all stick together and do that. Don't you? What do people think? I mean,
Well, let's ask the people who are listening. You guys put in the chats. I mean, do you really think that it's possible for all of us to get along? Right now there's so many trolls and there's so many fake profiles, and it's just, I mean, they even have TV shows of people getting catfished and thinking they're talking to one person, it's somebody else. I mean, you just don't know anymore. And again, the thing is that, people put way too much on quote unquote Facebook friends. I mean, just because they're Facebook friends does not mean they are your friend. Just because they have similar interests, they may just be a straight asshole, or they may be like the worst woman in the world that will wreak havoc on your whole life. um it's out there. That's the way it is. And so I really tell people that, until you really can get a strong enough, thick skin, to where the stuff that's said to you does not emotionally affect you or psychologically affect you, Until that time, I really tell people, you know what? Cut all your, like, delete a lot of people. If you don't talk to those
Yeah.
people and you don't know those people, get them off your page and do
Yeah.
not add new people. You really don't need all of these new people. You need really people who are around you that you can actually interact with, or work with, because again, there is absolutely no guarantee. I have been friends with people as up to as far as 10 and 11 years on Facebook, right? I have had friends that I have been friends with since I was a kid, and over things that I said, they followed me, they love the show, they sing my praises all the time. And then I do a show that they don't like, or I do a show on somebody that they do like. And then the next thing they know, they're going after me, oh, I'm going to ruin you. If I hear they're going to ruin me one more time, like, I don't know how you're going to ruin somebody who's not famous. Like, how are you
Yeah.
gonna ruin it? Like,
Yeah.
I work for myself, so like you can't fire me. My network absolutely, loves everything that I do, so they're not gonna get rid of me.
Yeah.
So but it is that way. People have to stop worrying about the number of followers. See, because social media has got so popular and all these social media platforms, people, like, they crave, or they like drugs. They need, oh, they post a pic. How many likes am I going to get today? How many retweets? How many mentions am I going to get? And if they put something and they don't get any, that, oh, they have can have it'll cause them to have a really bad day, because they think nobody loves them and things like that.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is not a reality. Like, this is not what we need to do. That's not what we need to be focusing on. But there are people out there that have no life, and
Yeah.
they are mad as hell at life and just whatever's going on. And the fact that you're doing good, they may feel that you're very beautiful. A lot of women hate on other women all the time. Oh my God, if I get told that I am so ugly, blah, 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 that's why I'm single. I just laugh, because I'm single because I choose to be single, because
Yeah.
why? I mean, relationships don't make or break me. I could have a boyfriend right now if I wanted to. It's not where my focus is.
Yeah.
But my advice to you, I mean, you've made leaps and bounds over, the time that I've been friends with you,
Yeah.
would be to not worry about new friends right now. Enjoy the friends that you do have. Share,
Yeah.
things, because those people are the people who are supporting you. And if for some reason you have somebody that switches flips the script, and all of a sudden they like you, and then all of a sudden you say something and then they start saying mean things to you, delete and block them
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Really,
I
because
mean, I
reading
think,
all that stuff messes with you.
yeah, it was hard for me as well when a woman got involved and told, she wrote an awful letter about me, and she told she's from Paraforce UK, and literally the friends went down like dominoes. She basically said, "You block, you have anything to do with Kaz Kelly, I'm gonna delete you," and literally
Mhm.
the power she has is unbelievable. And yeah, Powerful UK, I lost a hell of a lot of really good friends, and people today still won't talk to me just in case they get seen by Gert or
But
Vivian
do you
Powell.
really think that's true, Kaz, that they were really good friends of yours? Because personally, I mean,
Yeah,
I've had people do that to my friends, and a lot of my friends will tell them, "Screw off." I'm not choosing. Sorry, are you kidding me? And I don't care if you don't like that person. It doesn't happen a lot, and those people. And I always say, if a person will leave you based on what somebody else says without any proof, or just being just nasty, they were never your friends in the first place.
yeah,
And I really believe that the universe, there are some of us that we have a really hard time with change. We also have, we want to help everybody. We want to, like, be friends and just, have this great, interaction with everybody. And then that's not the reality. And then when the
yeah,
reality comes in, that, people will love you one minute and turn their back on you the next minute. Like, this is just how our society is now. And
yeah,
unfortunately, it's into crept into our field as well. So sometimes it's the universe. Like maybe we wouldn't get rid of our friends, we wouldn't delete them. Because I don't delete anybody, really, to be honest. You really have to do something pretty bad to me for me to delete
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Most of the time they delete me.
Oh, bless.
Hold on a second. David says, "LOL. What people think of me is none of my business. Fuck them." Oh, I completely agree. I have always said that. I have said that for so long. I mean, and again, that's something again to remember for you too, Kaz.
Yeah, yeah,
No matter how much you plead your case, no matter how much you prove or people know you and say she's a really awesome woman if you just get to know her, I mean, I think you're great. But there are
thank
always
you.
going to be people out there that, for whatever reason, maybe
Mm,
they don't, they think you're too pretty. Maybe they don't like the way you look. Maybe they, some people love your lips, some people don't, and there are those certain insecure and jealous people that then will, turn on you and they will say stuff. No matter if you go on Facebook or if you fight back or if you try to prove your point or give your side, it makes no difference because they're not
no.
going to change how they feel. They're not going to, you're not going to go online and do a live stream and everybody's going to go, you know what? That Kaz lady, she's okay. I now
Yeah,
don't, I'm a switch. I don't believe what they said. It doesn't work like that. I could,
no.
and it's bad about social media, but the truth is I could right now, I could get off the stream, I could go to my page, and I could say, these people, so and so, so and so, and so and so, have been attacking me, been trolling me, been doing all this kind of stuff. And believe me, and I could just make some stuff up. I could just say, Kaz went on and she hacked my account and she did all this and blah, 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 blah. Do you know that there would be thousands of people that would like go and start attacking you or delete you
Mm,
or whatever? I
yeah,
know that, but again, a lot of people use that, their friends and their friends' trust and support in them,
mm,
that they're fighting battles that they have no idea what they're even
yeah.
fighting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's she's just, I don't know how people can be so powerful on Facebook though. She is a powerful woman. The click on Facebook is unbelievable, but more so, I think the UK. I don't know if anyone's on here from the UK, are they? Because I can't see anyone.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of people.
And it's just, I think that, Vivian Powell is a force. She's huge. I think if people tell her to delete, she will delete. But I get what you're saying as well. It's just people, even if with say Gert Bowers, they do the Power Force UK and the Power Force Holland. I know Samantha wanted to, but she can't get on. At the end of the day, I just think the power that they have on Facebook is unbelievable. And yeah, you're right. I'm never going to change that. It doesn't matter how much I go on about it. It doesn't matter how much I try and make live streams to sort of let people know, because then I become what they are, and I don't want that. Facebook, yeah, it does screw your head. It sounds childish and stupid when you say it out loud, but in the time, in the moment when you're getting so much hate, it becomes everything, if that makes sense.
Oh, again,
You know?
100%. I went through that myself. So
Yeah.
and Michelle and everybody, Samantha saying true, Michelle saying hugs to you, Kaz. A lot
Oh,
of people in the chat room. And once you get out, I'm sure you'll be able to go back and like look through all the comments. But there's been a lot of support, for you from a lot of people in here. And
thank
again, I
you.
think that it's important what you're coming forward and saying because, again, each person is different. Where, I've been in this field for a very long time. And so again, when I was a newbie and I went in and everybody started attacking me and people who I could thought were friends would like just drop me and well, no matter what anybody said, hey Wayne, nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time. Hello, hello to you too. And again, when you're not used to stuff like this, it can be very disturbing, to a person, and it can push you to, I guess, lengths that you wouldn't even consider and you don't even know why, but
Yeah.
it's something psychologically that just drained you and it just brings you down into such a funk. And, again, being able to kind of see you from the beginning of all this and now to
Yeah.
where you are now,
Yeah.
just congratulations,
Well,
because
thank
I
you.
I always told you that the biggest lesson I could tell you and teach you was to graduate from being the victim into being the survivor,
Yeah.
and a big
And I
mentality.
am.
And you absolutely have been. And
Yeah.
again, keep it up. I mean, again, it's this is all very new, and it will still probably keep going on. My best advice to you is just try to do your best to ignore it. I know it is
Yeah.
hard, especially when people talk about you, because I would tell people I don't even want to hear anything else that anybody sends. I don't even care if you want to believe it, believe it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And all of my friends, still to this day, anytime they see anything online that's posted about me, they immediately screenshot and send it to me. And I said, stop
Yeah.
sending it. Because if you send it, I got to read it. Now you've all
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
all upset, and because somebody's saying,
Oh, I've lost you. Hello?
yeah, so who you are. You're a beautiful woman. You're
Thank
hardworking. You're a
you.
great wife. You're a great investigator. You've got all these
Thank you.
great things about you. And if anybody else tries to tell you anything different, you tell them to screw off. Look, I will send you my splint, and you can just send a permanent shot, with it on there. Um, I'll tell them to screw off for you. But you you stay strong, and
Thank you.
you keep it. I got your back, and I'm here for as long as you need me. I'll be right here, phone call away.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks a
Um,
lot for being
uh,
up. I know it's like 3 a.m. out there, and you stayed up all night just
yeah,
so you could check out the show. So
I did.
thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. And I mean, you're a beautiful woman. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will talk to you soon, beautiful.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye. Oh, so I'm still trying to figure out where's that girl that wanted to come on. What was her name? She left, sure left quick. Hey, I mean, you guys all got the link, right? I knew nobody was gonna end up coming on to go against themselves. So let's see. David says, just be consistent with who you are. People figure it out. Just be genuine, and you will rise above their shade. And and I have to love. I love David. I always have. He's not always loved me so much, but he's seen me go through a whole lot as well. And one thing is, he's seen people try to take me down. I just don't care. I just don't care. And he just he gets so tickled every time he sees me, going on blast with people, and he just loves to see it. So it's kind of funny. So thank you for joining me tonight. Maggie says some people are just assholes. No rhyme, no reason, certainly no logic. Their reason is they're just assholes, and you got that right, Maggie. Boy, that was very true. Let's see where else we've got. Oh, it says I froze up. Did I freeze up? Or maybe that's old. Okay, hold on. Okay. So let me go to my next person that we exposed, and that was Daniel Romanos. Pretty sure that's the name. So he is a paranormal investigator. I believe he used to be in Ohio, Angel, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure. I think he was in Ohio. Now he moved somewhere else. But he is an author, a paranormal investigator, and an admitted hebephile. Now, for people, uh-oh, somebody says my audio is all messed up. Can you guys hear me okay? Hello, hello. Come on, guys. You were like throwing them all through here, and I barely catch up now. Nobody's posting whatsoever. I'm not showing that I'm frozen on my screen. Um, all right, well, I'm just going to keep going. Audio is bad. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to refresh. Stay right there. All right, guys. So can you hear me now? Oh, all right, guys. Let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hold on. Better. Okay, everybody's saying it's better. All right, thanks, guys. Um, all right, so Daniel Romanos, he was the guy who was the admitted hebephile. Now, if anybody remembers, I was doing the show about him, and George and I were talking, and I felt like, as everybody knows, when I do an exposing show, I always say I will invite the person who I'm exposing onto the show, and then I will allow them to give their side. They rarely come on. I had one, but that was about it. So anyway, I thought like, well, what a great idea. We were live, and I thought maybe I saw he was online, and I thought maybe I should just call him, ask him. Now, I called him, I put him on speakerphone, and we listened live. Well, he explained that he claims to be a hebephile, which is the same thing as a pedophile, other that the pedophiles like the younger children, and a hebephile likes a little bit older. I think it was the child molesters like them young till I think 5, and then they like them from 6 to 9 or something like that for a hebephile. But then when I had him on the show, he was all willing to come on the show and do a show, and then tried to tell me, well, you do know that now, mind you, oh, not only was he the hebephile, but he also claimed to be a Satanist and a demonologist, and oh, there was just all kinds of things. And so he agreed to come on, and he told me that, well, I just want you to know I'm not a real hebephile. I just play one on TV. And I'm trying to think of the damn guy, the Christian minister that thinks he's a demonologist, and he goes around and touches everybody's head and then brings the demons out or whatever. Anyway, this guy went on, that guy's mentored under him and went on his podcast and admitted all this stuff. And he was trying to tell me that he just does it for publicity, just for fame, but it's not true. So I thought, really? Okay. So I then said, all right, well, I'm not bringing you on the show. And recently he put together well, after I did the show, I will tell you that a lot of people from the stream looked him up, went, reported his account. They bugged him. I'm not going to admit. So he started another page, and anyway, he went and started trolling my show page, and on all the shows he was saying, if you want a real good interview, you should contact me and bring me on the show, since Christina was too afraid to bring me on before. And I laughed, right? Because now he's telling me that he actually is a hepaphile and that he has no problem admitting that. And, he'll come on and educate people. So originally I was still gonna let him come on, and I thought, boy, if you got hate last time, you'll really get some hate this time. But I was still gonna let him on, but then he started trolling my page like crazy, so I just blocked him and nothing else happened. Let's see. Yeah, he writes books. That's like he's an author and he writes books on hemophilia, and they're just like it's disgusting. Yeah, he's a writer. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was very disgusting. I'm telling you, it was just like one thing to another to another. So yeah, so he's blocked. He won't be coming on the show. Sometimes I think about maybe I should bring him on just to screw with him. Uh, but I guess I just have to be in one of my like petty Betty days. Uh, and then maybe I'll unblock him and call him up and bring him on. All right, we got about half an hour, so I got to keep going. All right, next one on our list is going to be Steven Jerkoffanello, whatever the hell his name is. Yes, he was the guy who came on my show, has the Ouija board tattooed on his chest. He's like a bodybuilder and he's an extreme paranormal investigator. So he cuts himself. He uses the ashes of his grandparents. He puts his blood, other people's blood, on his Ouija board, and he does these really crazy reenactments. He had a show that was on Amazon Prime through a production company. He came on the show. Guy's got like the biggest freaking ego. He's the biggest douchebag. Well, I can't say the biggest, but he's up there, that I've ever met. Very conceited. Has tried to sleep with pretty much anybody and every woman in the paranormal field that he's ever spoke to or did a radio show for or anything, including me. And I had him on the show. He wanted to get together with me for an investigation and was trying to convince me to put my blood on his Ouija board. And fuck that. I am not that stupid, nor that gullible. So, anyway, kind of. Oh, hold on. I got to see these comments. Oh, yeah. Bob Larson was that one that we was talking about, too. Um, okay. Um, Yeah, so like he thinks so I know where he gets his insecurities from, right? I mean, the guy has a long history of troubles. I mean, he was bullied when he was a kid. He was like this real skinny, ugly guy, and so he's bullied so much that he decided it looks like he's on steroids. Like I just can't see that this is all natural, but I'm no expert, so who knows? That's just my opinion. But anyway, so now he's like this muscle guy, and so now he's like he's out there like trying to promote his show. The show is actually doing really really well on Amazon Prime. The only thing is he's a douchebag in front of the camera and behind the scenes. I mean, he talks so much shit about his production company, the brothers that ran the production company, and his co-host. He was always talking shit about her and how she was on drugs, and he was trying to make them choose him over her because they didn't need a co-host. They just needed him because he's the star and blah, 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 blah. Well, he came on the show, made a superb ass of himself. He did the first show, did great. Second show, I brought him on because I was doing the exposing the people who were sending out the dick pics show. And I was doing it on a couple other people when I got a message who was somebody who knew him and said, "Hey, the person you just had on your show that you think is all cool, he's doing the same thing." And I said, "Well, show me the proof. That's what I'm all about, receipts. So send me the proof." And they did. Oh yeah, they did. And she didn't just send it to me; she sent it to multiple people. So anyway, he was I was talking to him, and I basically, again, I was straightforward, and I said, hey, I'm gonna invite you on the show because I'm doing a show about, dick pics and things like that. And I basically called him out live on the show. And he tried to deny it. And first he said he had never ever sent anything out. And right before the show, he tried to call me out. And so he said, oh, if I really sent out a dick pic and you have it, send it to me. I said, great. And I sent it right on over to him. He knew I had it. Well, then he changed his story. And then he said, oh, yeah, I've sent them out. But anybody that I've sent them out to, they've sent me naked pictures of themselves first. And I said, and so when he was trying to get me to tell who had sent it to me, and crazy part about it is I originally got it from one female, but that's how I found out he's trying to sleep with all these other females because I started talking to all these other females that he was talking that I knew in the field, and they just all like ding 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 ding, and I'm getting the same kind of pics. Uh, so I called him out on the show, and when I called him out on the show, shit went real bad for him after that. He started attacking me, started attacking George. He would say anything he possibly could. At one point, he was threatening to go to an event where Scott Grunwald was going to be and kick his ass because he felt offended by his Parahorse shirts. I tried to explain that he had it all screwed up, that Scott hadn't created the Parahorse shirts, that Parahorse shirts were always out there. It was from the Paramore group. He just took it and twisted it for the paranormal, and it took off. And so he had he was so aggressive, and he was threatening everybody, and he was publicly threatening to hurt people. And I told him, man, dude, you are going to be your own downfall because you could be very good, I think, in TV. But the way you have no control over your emotions, which again kind of makes me think steroids or something. He's having some road rage. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, he's over like just talking so much crap. And me, again, I don't give two shits what he says. I had all the receipts. So I stopped giving him any attention after that. So he lost his show. He got fired from his show. And so he has no show anymore. He's not a big, paranormal people. He pissed so many people off in the field that were up there that nothing was going on. He wasn't invited to anything. He said he was blacklisted by everybody because he talked so much shit, but he didn't need anybody to get anywhere in the paranormal. And so what did he do? The only thing he could do. He went like everybody else that's trying to act like they're somebody that they're not. They went and they created a business of the para horror shirts. Yeah, you got it right. Made such a big deal about the other one, but now his para horror production company. So he finally ended up. Now he's videoing his own stuff. I don't know where he's putting it out other than YouTube, but he doesn't have a huge following. He's got a very small following of cult-like females that, just swoon over him, but that's really about it. He used to have a lot of fans, and it's really dropped considerably. He always has drama with somebody, and again, the karma is biting him right back in his ass. And as I said, you call me the C word, and, to me, you're just kind of wanting attention. He told me that he came on my show because I needed popularity. Well, if I was in it for popularity, that would be great, but since I'm not, great try. But yeah, he is kind of dealing with his own karma now. He right now, because he can't keep his mouth shut and he's threatening people, is blocked off of Facebook. The update, he does have a girlfriend now. He was finally able to find somebody he could con. She's a little. He's got her in the gym with her and all that, and they put all their stuff together. Now they're moving together. They're gonna, be a little team and put out their stuff. And I just laugh. I just laugh. He's got so much drama all the time, and the girl is just got the wool pulled over her eyes. Like if I just sent her all the stuff that I had about him, I doubt she'd be with him anymore, but whatever. So that's the update on yeah, Dave says, yes, Christina, I read the comment. I vouch for I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, he called me a bitch, he called me the C word, but like I told him, I have been called much worse names by much better people. So you got to come better than that. All right, who else do we need to talk about? Uh, who am I missing, guys? Come on. Kristen says he's stabbing me in the back, and I had his back for a long time. Yeah, absolutely. When a lot of people, were going after him, a lot of us had his back. But again, then you see what really happens and the type of person he was. Says, and I will just wait. She gets to know him and realize what kind of person he truly is. Yeah, it won't take long. It won't take long. Women don't like egotistical guys like that, or maybe she does. I don't know. Who cares? Let's see. We've got about 15 minutes. Is there anybody else that I have missed? Um, hey, Nathaniel. Yeah. No, nobody's heard from Ryan Privy. Oh, yeah. I haven't talked about Ryan. How could I forget Ryan? My boy Ryan. Yeah. Ryan Privy. So he was. Yeah. I'll get to Dennis in just one last minute. I definitely can't forget him. So Ryan Privy was a quote unquote paranormal investigator, and he did ghost walk tours in the Turlock and Modesto area. Uh, Again, he's got a lot of drama with a lot of people I know in the field because this is a small area and different people have, started investigating there and doing tours there. And now he's doing them. And so everybody didn't like each other. And just again, it's just the revolving wheel of the paranormal drama. Um, so my issue that I had was that he contacted me through the show and said his thing was he was a psychic and he wanted to know if I wanted to come to Turlock to check him out, check out his ghost tour. I had just went on Ellen McFarland and David Sis Napa Valley ghost walking ghost tours, and I did a live stream. At the time, I did not know that all of them, they didn't get along. And so he reached out to me after seeing the stream and said, oh, I'd like to invite you and George, to come out to Turlock and you can go to the investigation and we'll go to a haunted farmhouse. So I was like, cool, let's go. Well, a bunch of stuff started happening, and the 2 days before I was supposed to go over there, everything started kind of clicking when I started doing some research of my own. And to come to find out, this guy had actually completely botched a whole investigation. This guy does walking tours. He met somebody who had activity in their house. He said that he was an investigator, he could fix it for her. Took the rest of the people that were visiting or the guests on his ghost tour, and they then became his paranormal team. And he took the ghost walk tour over to this person's house, and they just all did a ghost investigation. And he came up with that they had multiple demons in their house, and that the demons were after their 6-year-old child at the time, or 9-year-old child at the time, and scared the family so bad that they actually moved out of this brand new, beautiful, 4-bedroom home into a 2-bedroom apartment with her parents because they were so afraid. And what did this douchebag want to do? He wanted them to stay out, and he wanted permission to start doing the ghost walk tours at her house and charging people to make money. So I was contacted by a third party. I was told all this. I went out with my team. He found out Well, he wanted to come and do a tour the night we were coming with my team. And she said, no, I've got a team coming to try to get rid of this stuff. And he basically said, no, well, I have a tour coming tonight. You need to leave, get them out of there, leave me the keys under the mat. And she said, well, no, they're coming overnight. And he said, they're a bunch of witches. And if you bring those witches in, they're going to make your situation worse. And so we were already there. And so we just basically shouldn't talk to him. We went in there. I did a walkthrough. Absolutely was activity there. There was no demons there whatsoever. There was a pretty nasty human spirit. Did a full cleansing of the house, all the stuff that I do with mine. It's all customized, and bam, everything changed. Not only did the husband and wife, they were having marital problems and sleeping in separate rooms. They moved back into their house, back into their bedroom, together. They ended up getting pregnant and having another little baby. So it was all good. And when that happened, he hated my guts. And I didn't even know it, and he didn't know that it was me that he was contacting. So once I find out all this, I told George, because George and his wife were actually at they were doing a vending show, some kind of a little event over there. And we were going to go there first and then go on this investigation. Well, I ended up finding out George saw the guy and was talking to him. And Ryan actually admitted to George that this farmhouse, they have to go like creep in there at night and stuff because it's an abandoned property and it had been condemned. So nobody was actually even supposed to be there, but that he pulled all the condemned signs down. And, he was giving beer to the man across the street, which he was claiming was the owner, which absolutely wasn't, to not tell anybody that they was there. And when I found that out, I found out he was charging, and he was also taking young kids into this condemned building as well as adults. And I had a real problem with that. So I decided that myself, along with some others, we were going to go and protest the event. And that's exactly what I did. And his event got shut down, his tour got shut down. And I got a lot of hate from a lot of people for it. They said I was a big bully and, boohoo, whatever. Um, and so it got as far as he was attacking a lot of people in his own town as well, that were my friends. And right after that, I blocked him. And on my Facebook page for the show, I have moderators that monitor my social media. So they're usually the ones that will respond unless I happen to see the message or they forward it to me. And one of my moderators, and Angel's and so as Paula, Angel had contacted me and said, this guy had messaged me, I needed to take a look at it. And I will tell you, I had one of the funniest laughs going through this. Now, this guy was trying to be like real gangster, right? And he was like threatening, and he was gonna. Angel was just like, the responses she had were so professional, but they were just so condescending, and things like that. And at one point, she said something, and she said, "Oh, do you need a tissue?" And he said, "You'll need that tissue to wipe up her blood," or something like that. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. But the person who lived in his town actually was able to get a restraining order against him. And yeah, he is walking a very fine line, because he was told to take down all of his fake profiles by the judge, and not to come before her again doing any of this stuff, or he'd be facing more punishment. And do you know, he's still at it? He's still out there. He's still posting shit. But again, and I'm sure he'll probably try to come and say stuff again. But please, buddy, don't go after me, because you're already in trouble, and I'm not too far from you. So I'll go see that little judge and show her what you and your so-called brother sent me. So not a smart move. All right. Now we've only got about 6 minutes. So we have got to get to Dennis. All right. So let me see. Let me pull it up. Sarah, did you want to come on the show and state what's going on, or do you? Because I'm not really involved in all that, to be absolutely honest. I mean, I know everybody that's involved in it, but I'm not per se, involved or know all the details. I do know that Dennis is now trying to. He's got all these haunted dolls, and he's trying to have his own haunted museum. And this guy like fights with everybody as well. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculous, the amount of egos, and nobody can get along with each other. But anyway, if anybody's doing the same thing, you're in competition. So anyway, he's done all this, he's attacked all these people, he's gone as far as, like, again, to mess up some business issues for people, and things like that. But again, people, it's the karma, because now Mr. Dennis had went and he put a picture of all of his haunted dolls and his items, and he was wanting to start a GoFundMe campaign so that he could raise money to open his haunted museum. And I actually went and checked, and the last time that I checked, there was zero donations. You gotta love it. I just can't help it sometimes. It's just absolutely too funny. Let's see. Yeah, Sarah, let me put the link again. Be happy. I'll go a little bit longer if you want to come on. Let me get over here and put the link again. If it's on your phone, again, you'll have to go and download the Be Live TV app first, and then get out of it, come back, hit the link again, and it will take you in. So just let me know once you get in there. Dave says he's even emailing the mayor of the city. How crazy is that? And bringing politics into it. It is, but again, we have to remember that there is no holds bars when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, there is nothing. If they can't find something, they will make it up. Now, while I wait for her, for Sarah, I'm just going to chat a little bit about some of the things that you can and cannot do. Um, First of all, if you think that, and I know people have been throwing out there that, oh, they've made police reports. That does not mean anybody's going to jail. So stop telling people they're going to go to jail, because that's, it's not true. You can make a million and one police reports, doesn't mean anything is going to happen. What happens is, especially because cyberbullying, there is no regulation on it at this point. So say you're arguing with somebody on Facebook and they're threatening you, right? They're going to kick your ass when they see you. And you go to the police and you say, look, this person threatened to take my life, right? They're going to look and they're going to see where these people live, and they live in another state or pretty far away from you. Nothing will ever happen. I'm telling you, people, that just won't happen. You now have 50 police reports on in your police area and in the other states, and they will not do a thing. They will tell you, a judge, you can go. A judge will tell you that if somebody lives in a whole other state, even if they're threatening you, they don't even live in the same state, so they don't take the threat valid. They say, oh, if he comes into California, then you can have him served, blah, blah, blah. You also, if you decide that you want to, what you can do is, you can't criminally prosecute, but you could possibly civilly, go after somebody and sue them. But it rarely happens, because people always say they're going to go get an attorney, they're going to sue for slander and harassment, but that never happens either. Because first of all, it's going to cost you between $10,000 and $30,000 to do a civil suit with a attorney, and you can only win for defamation and slander if, number one, that you can prove that what they are saying is not true, or that they don't believe it to be true, right? So you have to prove that, and even if you can prove that, you also, it with that, if you can, wait, hold on a second. They said they don't have shit to take. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have anything to take anyway. So I mean, why would you even do it? But anyway, $30,000, ten to $30,000 to do it. You have to prove that what the person is saying to you is not true, or that it was not true, and they still hard to prove. So you're probably not going to win. But along with that, you have to show that based on what was said, that was not true, that they caused you to lose money. And then you have to show proof of, how they made you lose money and all that. But what you could recoup would not even be what it would cost for the legal fees to go through it. So it rarely ever, ever, ever goes through and anything happens. So it's kind of interesting how that. Jesse says all the BS we went through, there was only one thing that could get that on. They email my boss so I could get them on defamation. Yeah, I mean, if somebody calls an event, I mean, they did that to me. If they call an event and they try to get you taken off and stuff, yeah, absolutely, you can do things, but the cost of it again is the issue. Um, okay, I am still waiting for Sarah, so let's go a few more minutes. Uh, so one of the first things, and it's kind of contrary to what I'm doing tonight, but one of the biggest things is, again, if you are somebody with a big mouth and you're just not going to deal with the disrespect, you're just going to go head to head with these people all the time. Uh, you're going to have a lot of time on your hand. You're going to have a lot of issues. Do you really want those? Uh, what I have noticed over the years is that when people call you out or people go on their page and they try to, put you uh, down and all that, they're looking for attention and they can't get it on their own. So they're going to use other people to bring attention to them. And with a lot of these people, attention is attention. They don't care if it is good attention or bad attention. Publicity is publicity. It is what it is. And Steven says it all the time, like, oh, keep responding. This just gets us more hits and more hits. And it absolutely does. So, one of the first things you'll say is if you are the victim of a bully, stop responding. Just stop responding. Uh, Again, because if you respond, they're going to respond, you're going to respond, and eventually, something's going to come out about, or be put out about you that is really going to affect you. People, again, it's no holds barred. They will talk about your dead family. They will talk about your children. They will talk about your husband, your grandparents. They'll make stuff up about you. It just does not matter. There's no hold bars. And again, because there is no regulation, there is no criminal offense happening in every single state, even on stalking and harassing. There are very specific rules to each state. And since they vary so much, again, it is very, very hard to get anything to happen. So try to stay away. Let's see. Susan says, I've been in the field for 18 years. I've never in that time seen such a mess with teams. Hold on. Got too many people posting here. Never seen such a mess with teams that I've seen in the past 3 to 4 years. It's not about the spirits anymore. It's about who's the best and the most has the best equipment and the most friends and followers. Who's going to be on TV and radio? That's not the way it should be. We shouldn't be bashing each other. We need to be helping each other. But who am I? I'm just an old school investigator, no ghost hunter. And Susan, I agree. I mean, again, with a lot of stuff that you're saying, it is true. And people shouldn't be bashing each other, but I mean, again, it is what it is. And you've got people out there, if they're out there saying stuff about you, maybe it's not going to bother you, but maybe they say something about your children. Right now it's affecting your children. I mean, some of the things I've seen that these paranormal investigators will do is just disgusting. uh are you just going to sit back and say, oh, we should just all get along and like not bash each other? No. I know me, I'm a mama bear. Like, you go after my kids, like, oh yeah, you can go after me all day. You go after my kids. Well, now my kids are all grown, they could go after, they handle themselves, but when they're little, oh yeah, I'll be right there. So again, You're not going to change the way these people think about you. If they hate you, they don't like you, they think you're ugly, they think you're fat, too skinny, whatever it is that they dislike about you or what you do, it is none of your business. You fighting your case online is not going to change anything about how they feel. Now, it may change some people's, opinions on what's going on. I have seen that in the past, but it is kind of again a fine line, because you will get half the people that will say, if you don't say anything, if it's not true, why aren't you responding and putting your version out? And then if you go out and you put your version out and you try to stand up for yourself, then you've got the other half of people, and they'll say, if it wasn't true, why is she even addressing it? It's just not true. It just don't address it. So, I mean, you're pulled both ways. Like, people don't know what they're supposed to do. If your people are saying, if your friends are saying, oh, don't let them say that about you. You need to go stand up for yourself. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that, can happen. Hold on. Lacey says, great show. Good to have you back. Let's stick together. I'm not into the paranormal. Can't wait for the next show. Um, well, thank you, Lacey. I'm glad that you're here. Brad says, I'm fat, ugly, and have a small wiener, but people still like me. Hey, well, you know what? I'm ugly. I'm a scammer. I'm a fake psychic, and I am the biggest bitch and bully in the paranormal. And hey, that's okay. A lot of people still love me for it. Let's see. All right, looks like Sarah can't get on. But Sarah, look, offline, why don't you go ahead and message me? I know you've been talking about doing some stuff. Why don't you get with me? Maybe we can set up another show to do and you can come on, or we can figure something out. But go ahead and give me for. Um, yeah, I don't know what all this is about, but yeah, you guys can PM me and we'll figure out what's going on. Let's see. Oh, she said won't let her click on. Let me try to send it through Messenger real quick. Yeah, it's. I don't think we're friends on Facebook, Sarah. So it's not letting me get to it. So let's see. Oh yeah, I'm still on the run. You know that. You know that. And hey, David Lowry, he says, we still love you, Christina. I know. You know what? I'm just one of those people that I am who I am. I am not going to pretend that I am all love and light. Look, do I love people and will I help people, with anything that they possibly need? 100%. But do I believe everything is freaking unicorns and glitter? Absolutely not. And I don't hold back. I say what's on my mind, but you can always trust that when I expose somebody on this show or I bring something out, you will never see me talk about it on this show unless I have proof to back it up. And anybody that I talked about tonight, all you have to do, I dare you. If you are calling me a liar, and that I do not have proof of what I am saying or what I have said about you, you go ahead, you message, unblock me and message me and say, I'm going to call your bluff, Christina. I don't think you have any of the proof. Post it, prove it. We know Stephen won't, because he's already tried to pull the bluff one time, and then I pulled his card, and so it won't turn out well for him. But anybody, if that's the way you need to do, that's what needs to happen. Oh, Dennis is here. Yeah, Sarah, go on there and cry about me. Make sure to tell them how you all set me up. That girl. Oh Lord, get off my damn stream, Dennis. Um, like I said, if you guys want to fight, go on back to your pages and fight. Whatever. Anyway, all right. It is 10 after 8. It is time to end the show for tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Want to make sure everybody, Wednesday night, make sure to join me on Top Secret News radio show. Got a great show for the first of the year. Boy, I will have to tell you, this week is going to be the only week of just kind of open topic, things like this. I have got some of the most amazing guests scheduled for both shows this next month. It is going to be a great start of this year, and I am looking forward to it. So, again, keep away from the trolls. Don't feed them. Don't give them any attention. Stop adding people for numbers and popularity. Do a little research, people. If you guys are investigators in this field, do some checking on people's profiles before you add them. Because I'll tell you, a lot of them are fake, and a lot of them are just trolling your pages, just waiting to find something that you say that they can send to somebody else and cause some drama. With that being said, I hope everybody has a great night. I hope for those of us that can get along, that we will get along, and that we will show that we can in this field, even if it has to be in small groups. Get out there, work together, and get back to what this field is about: research, evidence, and proving the existence of the paranormal field. And along with that, helping people who need the help. If you're here about ego, everything, man, just stay out of our way. Get out of there. If you just here for all the bullshit, build a page for it and go there. All right. Want everybody to have a great week. I'm going to see a lot of you I know on Wednesday night. I'm going to be doing updates on the predictions that I did last year. How many of them were accurate? Well, I'm going to let you know. Also, we've got a lot of strange and crazy news. We're starting out the year great. It's going to be a great show, so make sure to join me. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. You have been listening to Paranormal Connections radio show on the UPRN Talk Radio Network, 107.7 out of New Orleans, and I will see you all next week. Good night.